Hello all, I am the Holon Phantom, and I just wanted to say Happy New Year! We made it through the year 2023, and we're entering into the year 2024 now, and I just wanted to take this chance to review what happened over the past year. So to begin with, the major news of the year was the channel finally made it to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much to everyone who supported us along the way. And next up, I'm going to be going over the updates to the decks that I've got here. As you can see here in front of me, I've got 4 brand new decks, going to be the 2022 World Championship decks, as you can see printed on the back of the cards. And also, fun note, this is the first time that all 4 decks have a different color back, which is pretty cool. I've never done this before. I'm really into it. So here we go. We've got the Mew VMAX deck. Got the Origin Form Palkia V-Star deck alongside the Inteleon package and Calyrex VMAX. We've got the Arceus V-Star deck that actually won the Masters Division. It comes with the Flying Pikachu and Hisuian Decidueye. And the last deck we've got is another Rapid Strike package. This time it's going to be Inteleon along with a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. It's a really cool deck for spreading damage around. Yeah, they finally printed these. I got a chance to pick them all up. And I'm just waiting for the 2023 decks to be printed. But in the meantime, I did make some of my own 2023 decks that are not going to get printed. So here we go. I made the Qianpao Baxcalibur deck. I forget what placement this deck got, and honestly I don't remember who made this. I don't know whose deck list this is. You know, I'm gonna have to probably put that into the comments. Sorry about that. But here we go. Yeah, Qianpao Baxcalibur. I really like this deck. It's a lot of fun. Got Miraidon EX, Lightning type deck. I believe this is Andrew Mahone's list with Path to the Peaks. Lugia V-Star, another really good deck in the format. This is the what's it called? Single Strike version, as I think the colorless version is going to be printed as a World Championship deck next year. And the next one I've got here is Giratina V-Star with the Lost Zone package there, and a couple of Jet Energies to help out the deck. So, pretty fun decks I've got for 2023 and 2022 right here. So these are the new ones I've got so far. Okay, now for the decks that I actually built over the past year, so let's get into that first. Okay, we're going to be starting off with some of the base set deck lists. Anybody who's watched the original check-in video that I made, you'll see that I did have some of the base set through Team Rocket decks, but actually over the past year I decided to transfer them from base through Team Rocket back to base through Fossil. So they did get changed a little bit. For the most part, I got the Blastoise deck, Wigglytuff deck, and the Moltres Mill deck. They're mostly the same thing, just with a couple of cards difference, and I decided to change a couple of them up. I did have that Dodrio Potpourri deck. I changed that into just straight up Mewtwo and Electabuzz. So this is kind of like the new haymaker of this era. I made a really cool Arcanine deck alongside, where is it, Electrode to power it up. It's meant to be as a really fast-acting attacking deck. Go all in with Arcanine, take as many KOs as quickly as you can, and win the game before the opponent can set up. And finally, a Dragonite deck. This is a bit of a setup deck, using Hitmonchan as one of the main attackers. You use Kangaskhan to draw cards early in the game while you set up your Dragonite. Dragonite is mostly there for its step-in ability to just get out of any paralysis or sleep lock that the opponent might have on you. Not as strong or fast as some of the other decks, but still a lot of fun to use. And yeah, that's going to be the base through Fossil decks that I've got so far. Okay, now for the next batch of list. Starting off with, got a couple of, what are these? Team Rocket through Legendary Collection decks, the Evolution deck. So Eevee's the main Pokemon. I can evolve into 3 of its forms in this deck. I've got Umbreon, Espeon, and Flareon. There we go. 3 Evolutions. So pretty fun deck, not as strong as some of the other ones in the format, but it's still a lot of fun to use because of the Pokemon power on Eevee to evolve pretty much on the first turn if you can get it set up right away. The next deck I've got is Sabrina's Haunter. So mostly just using a lot of Ghost Pokemon to set up the Night Spirit's attack alongside Brock's Ninetales to evolve into some more Sabrina's Haunter or Sabrina's Gengar, if I could find the Ninetales. Where are they? Oh, there we go. Got a couple Ninetales and mostly Ghost Pokemon. So another really fun deck. Requires a lot of coin flips, but you know, that's just half the fun. Next up is Team Aqua's Kyogre deck. It's going to be my first deck of 2004 that I built myself. This is actually a list that I got from Jeremy Evans. So it's a lot of fun. One of my favorite battles over the past year up against the Team Magma's Groudon deck. So if you haven't checked out that video, I really recommend it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a really good deck, focusing on Kyogre as the main Pokemon. But you can also switch it up and attack with Cacturn, or even Manectric if you need to. So a really fun deck. Let's see, I built two 2009 decks. First one is Luxray Infernape. It's an SP engine deck. So we've got Infernape up front, and Luxray is somewhere. There it is. So Fire and Lightning deck. Really fast deck, as all SP decks are. The next one I've got is a Kingdra deck. I actually have not featured this deck in the channel so far, but I really want to try it out. It is a lot of fun to use, as Kingdra can attack for either free or just one water energy, so it's really easy to power up. Next up, I've got two 2010 decks. The first one I've got here is a Sableye deck. Use Sableye to either donk the opponent with its overconfident attack, or use Impersonate to use Cyrus's Initiative to rip some cards out of the opponent's hand, and then get some hand control in there with Chatot, using Disrupting Spy. So a really good deck, and if you want to go on the offensive, use Garchomp. Hit the opponent with Dragon Rush, take some cheap KOs. So a really strong SP deck in the 2010 era. The next one I've got here is Magnezone Level X. So a Stage 2 deck with Magnezone. You've got Spiritomb to evolve into the Pokemon that you need, and then just attack with Magnezone, either using Cyber Shock to continuously paralyze your opponent, or you can hit and run with, where is it? Another Magnezone with the Gyro Ball attack. Not that one. Here we go. Gyro Ball, attack, do 60 damage, and then switch back into the bench and promote Spiritomb to trainer lock the opponent. So it's really annoying, but it's actually a lot of fun if you're the one piloting it. I've also got Blissey here to just continuously heal your Pokemon. The next up on the batch is 2011 ZPS, Zekrom, Pachirisu, Shaman. This is the list that won the Canadian Nationals in 2011. Use Zekrom as your main attacker, Pachirisu to load up energy onto itself with its Poke Power, and then use Shaman to move all that energy onto Zekrom with Celebration Wind, and try to get that donk as quickly as you can. Okay, so that's 4 of the decks that I've made so far. Now let's get into the next batch. Okay, and here we go. It's the next batch of decks, again in a chronological order. Oh, let's see, I've got a bit of a glare on this side. It's alright, we'll get to it. So starting off on this side, I've got Flareon from 2013. It's going to be the main attacker with Vengeance Attack. I did showcase this deck on the channel, going up against Rayquaza Electric earlier in the year. Another really fun battle, so I recommend you go check that one out. I've also got a Leafeon in here for its Energy Crush attack. Espeon, mostly they're just there for its ability. Audino for healing, and also for loading up the discard pile with more Pokemon for the Vengeance attack. Landorus, another really strong attacker with Hammerhead and Land's Judgment. Terrakion for revenge KOs. Drifblim, just to punish the opponent for using a lot of special energy cards. And yeah, another really fun deck to use. Flareon. Now over to 2014, Charizard EX and Pyroar. Really fun deck. I think this is the first time that a Charizard card is actually good in the format. So, really strong fire deck, especially with the use of, where's it, Blacksmith, to load up fire energies on your Pokemon. There it is. This is before Welder came into the format. Now over to 2015, I've got the Donphan deck. So use Spinning Turn, just needs 1 energy hit for 40 damage, but load it up with Strong Energy. Give it 20 more attack. Fighting Stadium, another 20 attack. And then, where is it? You can use Silver Bangle to increase its attack by another 30 points if you're hitting an EX Pokemon. And then Spinning Turn also switches Donphan out of the active spot, so you can switch into a Robo Substitute. It counts as a 30 HP Pokemon, but if it gets KO'd, it does not give up a prize, so it's a really good strategy to use. Oh, here we go. Muscle Band, that's what I was looking for. Another way to increase Donphan's attack power by another 20 points. So with Strong Energy, Fighting Stadium, and Muscle Band. Donphan can be hitting for 100 damage for just 1 energy, which is a really good attack. So, a really fun deck, Donphan. Now, jumping over to 2017, we've got the Volcanion EX deck, alongside Turtonator, if I could find it. Here we go, Turtonator. You can use Nitro Tank GX to load up your Pokemon with Fire Energy once per game. And then Volcanion has a pretty good attack, but also a really good ability. Discard a Fire Energy to increase the attack power of all your Fire Pokemon by 30. And the ability does stack, so if you have multiple Volcanion, use all their abilities to increase your attack power by a lot. So a really fun deck to use. Another 2017 deck is the Mega Gardevoir EX deck. The main attacker here is, well, obviously the Mega Gardevoir using Despair Ray. This deck is kind of focused around having a really big bench size, using the Sky Field, and then discarding your own Pokemon with Despair Ray to hit for a lot of damage. So, it actually kind of got outclassed once Gardevoir GX came into the format in that same year, but I still really like this deck. I just love using Mega Pokemon. Now over to 2018, I've got the Malamar Psychic Box deck. Use Malamar to continuously recycle your Psychic Energy onto your attackers. Marshadow to copy the attacks of your discarded basic Pokemon with his ability. Necrozma GX. It can prevent attacks by colorless Pokemon if you're going up against a Rayquaza or something. Donwing's Necrozma GX. Another really strong attacker. It can also jump into the active spot with its invasion ability. And Mewtwo GX, another really strong attacker. So really fun, kind of like Psychic Toolbox deck to use. Now over to the 2019 decks. I've got 3 of them. 2 of these were actually showcased in a battle going up against each other. First off, we've got the Quagsire deck. So Quagsire is used to move water energy from itself to other Pokemon. Naganadel to move energy from the discard pile onto itself, which then can get moved by the Quagsire onto your attacker. So we've got Kyurem as one of your attackers. Hail Prison, discard 2 water energies to paralyze your opponent automatically. And then just keep getting the water energies back with the Naganadel. And Volcanion, another really strong attacker. Here we go, Keldeo GX, one of the main attackers of the deck, with its Sonic Edge attack. And also, it can shield itself with its ability from GX or EX Pokemon. So a really good attacker in this deck. So that's the Quagsire deck. And the other one is Chandelure, which is actually a really unique deck because of the ability, oh sorry, not the ability, the attack Spirit Burner. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. The attack does 60 more damage for every Pokemon that you discard, but then you can put any fire Pokemon that you discard directly onto your bench. And they don't have to be basic Pokemon, so you can put evolved Pokemon straight onto your bench. So you can load up the deck with a bunch of strong fire Pokemon. So we've got Blaziken, Ninetales, Charizard, Delphox, and you can evolve your Pokemon right away with a Dusk Stone. Evolve your, what's it called, Lampent directly into Chandelure with a Dusk Stone, and then just start attacking. It just needs 1 fire energy. And if you get lucky, you get discard a bunch of fire Pokemon, load up your bench, and then just sweep the game. So it's a lot of fun to use. And on the other side of the spectrum, instead of being an all-out attacker, we've got a really hardcore control deck, Pidgeotto, with Oranguru. With resource management, just draw through the deck as quickly as you can to recycle your resources using Oranguru's attack, and then just control your opponent's board. Use Chip Chip Axe to control their draw off their deck. Use cards like Mars to discard cards from their hand. And Crushing Hammer to get rid of their energy cards. So just a lot of cards designed to just troll your opponent. So it can be a little annoying to go up against, but if you're the one using it, it can be a lot of fun to use. Now jumping over to 2021, I've got a Radiant Charizard deck. I believe this is Ross Cawthon's list from the World Championship. It's run alongside the Rapid Strike Inteleon line to just search your deck out for any trainer cards that you might be needing. And Radiant Charizard is going to be the main attacker of the deck with its Combustion Blast hitting for 250 damage per turn. Snorlax is another really good backup attacker with its Thumping Snore attack. But for the most part, you just want to recycle the Charizard over and over again. So, if you can get it to work, it's a really consistent deck, and it's pretty fun to use. It's just a little hard to pilot if you're not used to doing some stuff like that. Okay, and there we go. That's all the decks that I've made throughout the past year. So now let's get into the ones that are in progress. And finally here, the decks that are currently still in progress. Got 5 here. So first off, we've got the Mega Sceptile deck. It's still missing a couple cards. I need 1 more Sceptile EX and 2 more Mega Sceptile EX. And I've got most of the other trainer cards. I think I'm missing like less than 5 cards altogether. Then I've got the Bronzong Toolbox deck here. I've got most of the Pokemon. The Aegislash, Genesect. I'm missing the Cobalion and the Magearna. And I think also a couple of trainer cards. Next up, we've got the Gardevoir and Sylveon GX Tag Team deck. It only runs 4 Pokemon. The rest is just trainers and energies. So I'm missing a few trainer cards to complete this one here. Then I've got the Vikavolt Tapu Bulu deck. This one's a lot of fun. I am missing the Charjabug to evolve the Grubbin into Vikavolt. Along with, again, some trainer cards. And finally, the Ho-Oh GX and Salazzle GX deck. I've got all the Ho-Oh and the Salazzle, but actually I don't have the Salandit, so I can't evolve into the Salazzle yet. And again, a couple of trainer cards to use here, but for the most part, it's all done as well. This is just 5 of the decks. I've also been working on, let's see, Mega Manectric EX, Gardevoir GX, and Sylveon GX. Not this one, not the tag team, just the 2 individual Pokemon in the same deck. What else? Whimsicott GX, Mad Party, and Centiskorch VMAX. So it's another 5 decks that I want to build. I have some of the cards for them, but I haven't started putting them together like I did with these. But yeah, that's kind of the check-in so far for the year, for the beginning of the year anyway. And final update. I did announce that if I ever got to 1,000 subscribers, I'd host a live stream of myself sleeving all the World Championship decks. As you can see here, they don't have any sleeves. And that is still being planned out. I just need to actually, collect all the sleeves that I'm going to be using, which is, I lost count. Almost, I think, 10,000 sleeves that I need to sleeve up all the decks. So, it might take me a while to get all the sleeves I need, but it will happen eventually. I'll announce it on Twitter, and I'll just post it on YouTube about a week in advance just to let everyone know that it's going to be happening. So if you want to pop in to the live stream just to kind of chat, hang out, and just ask any questions or talk, I'll be available for that. So once again, I don't know when it's going to be happening, but I'll let you know as the time approaches. And that's going to be it for today. So look forward to some new battles coming up for the year 2024, along with anything else that you might want to see. Just let me know in the comments below. And that's going to do it for today. So once again, Happy New Year. And that's going to wrap it up. All right, take care, guys. Bye.